we're going to start chapter 4 today. Okay, so for the last week one, sorry, unfortunately I actually forgot the password, my own Heels password, so I'm having to reset, guys. So I'm going to do the demonstration Thursday. Okay, so sorry about that. So we're going to start chapter 4 today. Okay, so so let's go over here. So let me go over, give you guys an overview of the chapter 4, because this chapter we're going to start coding. Okay, so so there are a couple of pages. Unfortunately, this one someone actually told me that there's a broken link in this one. I'll fix that today. Okay, so this basically, if you only need to install locally in Python, which is not necessary for this class. Okay, but if you want to, you can actually install Python and then use it locally as well. But we're gonna use Colab, Google Colab, and also other. There are many options that you can follow. You can even Google and use one, but I recommend Google Colab because Google Colab school provides you a Google account, right? So you have a free access to Google Colab through school Gmail account. Okay, so basically you log into Gmail and then you can search Google Colab and then you can start actually. Okay, so and then there are other resources as well. So this one. Um, So let me actually open that announcement that I sent you guys. Um, this one, okay. So in here, so use that Colab. Okay, so right here, this one, okay. And then if you want, you can also use, if you have already Python installed on your computer, which I will show you how to run it. You can use that, or you can use Python's own prompt, this one. Okay, so this is we will be using this today. Okay, and then you can also use this one, Compiler Explorer, which is a good way to run Python as well. Okay, so this is just a starter code that I have given you. Okay, so and then this is Colab. Okay, and it will be my Colab account, right? So what you need to do is, you can basically, if you want, you can go over here and then save a copy in your drive, and then you will get a copy. Okay, so the thing is, this is this is only view only, right? So we will be writing code over here today, and then it will be view only. So you will not be able to change and then save that code for you, right? So you will be able to change and run code, but in the end it will not be saved because it's my copy, right? But if you want to save your own copy, just click over here and then save a copy in drive. So it will be it will save a copy in your Google Drive from school. Okay, all right. So that's one other place to run. So I will be mostly using Google Colab for coding in the class, for live coding. Okay, so that link also in this page. Okay, so if you go to right here, module 4, you will see this page, class code, right? So if you go to that page, and then this will be that, right? So that will be the link. Okay, so all right, yeah, we can begin now. Any question before we begin, guys? I mean, it's up to you. It's if you want to code in there, and then you can actually basically what you need to do is you can sign into your Gmail account from school, and then use the other link. I think maybe I'm not sure the this link, but you I sent an announcement, right? Yeah, yeah, I sent so, that one too. Okay. But I'm having personal issues. I can show you afterwards. Oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, it's the email that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But so is the other link you sent for Python 3.14 is can we use that one? Yeah, I mean the compile explorer one. Yeah, yeah, you can use that. Yeah, but make sure to save the code and then save bookmark the URL. Okay, otherwise you will lose your code. Okay. All right. All right. Any other questions? Anyone? All right. So let's start. Okay. So here. All right. So we already talked about this, right? So I'm gonna skip this one. Okay. So basically, what we will be doing is writing programs to access input and then do something, get something done, and then print it, which is the output, right? So again, they are kind of repeating that into this lesson because behind the scene we will be using the CPU to run code, right? Okay, so but we've already covered this topic, so I'm going to skip that one. Okay. All right, this is some history. Okay, so Python is a scripting language. It basically means the interpreter, which is the Python virtual machine. Okay, is going to run your script one line at a time. Okay, so the other so one we saw is actually the compiler, right? So read your entire code and then it converts it to assembly language, right? But it's actually compiler check entire set of code, and if you have a single mistake in there, it will not run, so it will not compile your code. Okay, so the disadvantage is, you had some correct lines, but because of single mistake, not entire program is not running, so it wouldn't compile. We say that, right? So that's a compile language, but Python is the interpreter language. Since it's actually run one line at a time, then basically it will run until to the line that you have a mistake and stop there and tell you the error, which is a good thing, right? So that's why basically Python is run your code a single line at a time. Okay, so rather than compiling the whole whole program and making sure whole program correct and runs, and this one basically run one line at a time. Okay, so it's a good thing because you basically at least you can go until where you have the mistake, right? Rather than not the entire program not working. All right. So there's some history here as well. The inventor, the Guido, right? And then the I think he's Dutch, right? Yeah. And then the name he picked, the popular comedy show, right? Monty Python. And then the 2.7 had garbage collection. Okay, so basically what that means is that basically if you are no longer using a variable or an object, then Python basically detect that and delete it to reclaim the memory. Otherwise what happen is, right, like garbage, right? So when we keep garbage at our house, I mean it takes some space, right? And then we call it garbage, right? Because we don't want it anymore, so we throw it out. So It's same concept here in programming too, right? So if any object you no longer use it, basically you can delete that object and reclaim the memory, so that we don't fill our memory, right? We don't clog our memory. So that's called garbage collection. And it's actually important when you actually write complex program. So you have to have, so what Python does, it you don't have to worry about that. Python actually does it for you automatically. So time to time it runs the garbage collector and reclaim this um, memory used by unused objects. So that's the process of garbage collection. Okay. All right. So we'll talk about garbage collection later, more on later as well. Okay. And it's also open source project. So that's one of the reasons that it gotten very popular as well. um, and it's one of the, I think it's neck and neck with JavaScript right now, one of the most popular language. It's also really close to English as well. The grammars and syntax you will see readable very well in English. So it's a good thing when you go to translate from one language to the other, like English to the Python, right? Um, and that's one of the reason that it became a good teaching language, right? So it's easy to teach as well as easy to learn. Okay, so that's one of the reason the decide here the CS department decided to go with Python for 110A class with Python in 2019. Okay, so I think 18, somewhere around that time. um, Earlier it was actually C++ we used for 110A. Okay, so and then basically it's a sequence, right? 110A, 110B, 110C, right? So it's a sequence, right? So 110A and then 110B is the next class, and then same then after 110A we branch out to two branches. One is Java, one is C++. So Java branch is 111B, 111C. C++ branch is 110B and 110C. Okay, so that's why this is a sequence of classes. Okay, okay. So we're gonna use Python 3.0. Okay, so please don't use Python 2.7. Okay, so that's actually now deprecated. Okay. All right. All right. So if you have locally Python installed, so all of these machines should have Python installed. Okay. So what you should do is actually go to command line. So so this is for local, right? So so I already have this prompt. So I'm gonna quit. All right. Okay. So one thing is you can type Python. Okay. At the command prompt. So you guys all can run, for those who are in front of using desktop. You can run Python at the command line. Also, if it is a MacBook, you can type Python at the terminal. I think MacBook comes with Python install. Okay, is it not there? Try py. Try Python 3. There you go. Okay. All right. Sometimes, yeah, there are names. For example, mine, I have Python, py, and Python 3, all three. So um, guys, if Python, just plain Python didn't work, right, you may try like py works. And sometimes depending on the way they actually given the name, right? So you can also try Python 3 as well. Okay. All right. So so this is your local Python command prompt, we call this the prompt, right? So basically when you do this one, when you do this command, basically what you are is doing is you are running the Python virtual machine, okay? And then this is basically it's providing you how to access that virtual machine via this prompt. So we call this the prompt. You can simply call it the interpreter as well, the Python interpreter, okay? So so basically what will happen behind the scene is Python will load along with its virtual machine into your memory, okay? So if you actually go here and check the what's the running program, you will see Python 3 as one program running now, okay? All right. So so you can I encourage all of you guys to try that out at the command line if you are in front of either your own computer or your desktop computer at the lab. But if you do not have your own installed Python, don't worry about it. We can actually Google, right, this Python shell. So this for those who don't have the Python installed, okay, Python shell, and it's actually this is the first one. So click on the first link. It's actually see that it's actually Python's own people. You will get this again prompt. So this actually memorizing what I did with the previous class. So you will see that as well. Okay. So think clear is the command to clear out here. Okay. All right. So let's go back to Cybook. Okay. So that's called the prompt. Okay. So we have here. So and you can see that we are running few code lines, right? Okay. So let's try running this one. Okay. So I'm going to actually I can do it at the my own command line. So I'm going to do it over here. Okay. So let me change this to wait. I'm going to use I think this one. So it's a higher version 3.2. I think right now 3.14 is the current version, but anything above 3.89 works. Okay, the versions. Okay, I have 3 versions installed. All right. So so I'm going to do it over here. So let's try to create this this program over there. Okay, so wage is 20. So I'm going to type it over here, wage. So I want you guys to follow me, guys. So try to follow me. Okay, so as when I type, as I type, you guys also should type these codes. Okay. So that's why it's hands on, right? And then also we are live coding and you're also trying that, right? And we have TAs here to help if you get stuck. Okay, just raise your hand and then yep.
So mine is color coded. Is that okay?
What do you mean by color? That's fine.
It's
Yeah,
fine, 'cause
that's
yours
fine.
isn't.
That's okay. It's yeah, it's just
Okay.
plain. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's good to have color coded. Yep. All right. And you can see that I ran it, nothing happened, right? But if I type this and hit enter, it actually prints the value of it. Okay. So this single line we call a statement in Python. Okay, a statement. So remember in English we have part of speech, right? Like the subject, the verb, the object, those are right, and then how we the grammar we use, right? So that's part of speech. So Python also a language, right? So it has its own part of speech. So that first one is a statement. Yes.
So I'm confused. So
Mhm.
it's a statement.
Yep.
We didn't have to put the quotation. I mean, you have the double quotation.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. So that's when we actually print. Remember, we print last week. We print hello world, right? We had to use double quotations. We're gonna get into that, right?
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So that's how we actually print text in Python. But this is just a value like integer value, so we didn't have to use quotation. Okay. All right. Okay. So so there's a particular name to this statement. Anyone? Yes.
Well, like what? Well, it's a variable. But
Yeah,
you
the
also
whole line wage is a variable. Yes, this is a variable. This is a variable, and its value is 20. Right. So basically, what we are doing right here is we are assigning this value 20 to this variable, right? So but what do we call this entire statement? There's a name for this statement. It's a statement, yes. What specific statement?
integer.
That's 20. Yeah, 20 is an integer. Yes. Go again.
Declarative.
No, it's kind of declaration in other languages, right? So yes, that's assignment statement. Why it's assignment? Because the equal sign, right? It basically assigns. So basically, what we are doing is we are assigning the value 20 to wage. So we call that the assignment statement. All right. So the statement with this mostly we call it actually the assignment statement. So in Python we have about 7 types of statements. So we'll just learn one. What is it?
Assignment.
Assignment statement. Okay. All right. So we'll learn one more today actually towards the end of the class. Okay. One more type. Okay. All right. So let's go back to lesson. All right. So yeah. Okay. So we can actually continue the rest. I think I'm gonna let's type the rest, guys. So we have wage. Next one is hours, right? Equals 40, right? And then weeks equal 52, right? And then the salary calculation, right? So salary, is that correct? Okay. Wage times oh, hours times weeks, right? All right. So I basically ran this line, right? And you can see that. So this is also what kind of a statement?
Assignment.
That's also assignment statement, right? So basically, what I did was I wanted to calculate my salary, and then I got that done by using the salary, like calculate formula, and then doing it like this. Okay. So and you can see that. So this basically I work it out on the right hand side and then assign the resulting value to the variable I have on the left hand side. It's you can think of how you did the algebra in math class, right? So we had variables and then we assign values to variable, right? It's for now you can think of it, it works that way. We're gonna see some differences later on in the class. It's not exactly like in math, but for now you can think of, yeah, it's similar to what we did in math. Okay. So remember we had in algebra class we had variables and we put them on the left hand side and then value on the right hand side of the equation, right? The equal sign, right? So it's similar to that. Okay. So now, so we calculated salary. It's actually happened behind the scene and it's now inside the memory, right? So so we're gonna now basically print it. Print salary. Okay. All right. So we got the value. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make sure you do this, guys. Okay. Okay. So you're not following my instruction.
What?
You're not following my lesson.
I
Okay.
can't really see.
All right. So you can't see.
No, because of the fact that
I had to be over here
You
because
can
another student
come
was
over there.
available.
Okay. Okay. So you can open. This is a MacBook.
No, it's not.
It's Windows. All right. So go command line. Yeah. Let's see if you have Python. Just Python. Enter Python. No. Okay. You don't have. Okay.
Oh, I can
So
install it right now.
it's up to you. Okay.
No,
Okay. Okay.
it's already on the Microsoft Store, so I'm not. So it's safe.
Okay. All right.
Safe to download
Um,
it.
Shirley and Bridget, could you check if they have problems? I think there's some. All right. How's it? How? Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Yeah. And later on I will show you how to get a code from this one. Okay. So basically, this still command prompt.
Right.
But if you want to type all of this in a text file and then run it, basically
Wow.
new file, right?
Okay.
And then it will be like this, and then you can type code and then run module. So and it will run over here though. Okay. And you
Okay.
can see the difference. This is the shell.
Right.
This is the place. This is a text editor that you can
Right.
type code.
So do I just command control C, or do I just
No, basically
do I just type the same thing I just typed?
yeah, one at a time. Yes. All right. So let's continue. So now I want to change this to hours to 35, right? So guys, you can use up and down arrow keys to access history, right? So like this, and it's easy. You don't have to retype. So I'm gonna basically go and change this to 35, and then rerun that salary calculation, and then I'll have the new salary. Um, the less number now. Okay. All right. Now you can see that this we ran code, a bunch of code, but one line at a time, right? So kind of an inconvenience, right? So because we ran it at the prompt. Okay. So the recommendation for using prompt is like if you want to check out like a one single thing, one single command, function or something like that, you can use the prompt with just one line. You are testing out, you are trying it out. But to run a whole program like this, and you can actually separately type the entire program together and run it together. Okay. So let's do that now. Okay. So I'm going to basically, so that's what they have done over here. Okay. So I'm gonna pretty much copy paste. Maybe, yeah, I'm gonna copy paste this whole thing, guys, and then gonna go over here and then run it. Okay. So I'm gonna paste it. So to save time, I didn't type, it just copy pasted. Okay. And you can see that the difference here is basically like in compared to at the prompt, we can just simply run all of them. You don't have to run one line at a time, right? So right, it's now ran. So basically, I now ran a entire block of code just once. Okay. But still, the way Python works is Python execute line at a time from top to down. Okay. All right. So that's how Python interpreter works. Any question? Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Bridget, can you check? Yeah. So I mean, there are many environments. I like Colab, and I'm using this one to run code. But I mean, we also have the same in Cybook itself as well, guys. Okay, it's down here. See that over here? You can actually just click this button and run it. Okay. The only problem is once you refresh Cybook, this may be gone. You cannot. I don't know whether you can save it in there or not, right? So, but it's a good place. You don't have to go somewhere else. You can run the code in Cybook code blocks like these as well. Okay, so it's a kind of a good thing. Okay, but it probably temporarily, and to save your code, probably you better have your own environment. Okay. All right. So we already visited what the statement is. Okay. Think of, I mean, it's good to draw, like, correspondence between English and Python, so that we kind of we like, being able to translate back and forth between the two languages. So think of statement is like, similar to like a statement in English, right? So we have like, correctly grammatical correct line, like in English, right? The same way we have the statement, right? So if that is the case for statement, then expression basically, if you think of in English, like verbs and names, they are kind of expressions, right? In Python, basically, the expression may be part of a statement. Okay, so they are basically piece of code that basically the interpreter evaluates and then produce a value. Okay, so for example, right, if I go over here, all right, so this is, what is this in Python? The assignment statement, right? So this is a expression, an expression. Okay, so basically the way you can identify the true is at the prompt. It's really easy. So here's how you, right? So I said this is a expression, right? So an expression, sorry. So I'm gonna type this over here, and then if I do this, see what happens. It's actually, when I ran the expression, Python evaluated the expression and got the value and then actually printed that. But if I ran the statement, right, see that nothing happened, right? But behind the scene, it's actually executed it, right? So that's kind of, you can actually, in that way, you can test out the difference between an expression and a statement. Okay, so expression basically Python evaluates it and it's actually come up with the value for an expression. All right. So then in this statement made of several expressions, can anyone name few in this statement? Yeah. So these are all expression. This one is an expression. This part is an expression. This whole thing is an expression. All right. This part is an expression. All right, and then even this value is an expression. Okay, so what the stored value, basically we calculate this value and store this value of this expression in here, right? So and then all of these you can actually try out the way we actually just try out the expression. Like for example, salary, right? If I put salary over here, right, it actually prints its value, right? So that means basically a variable itself is an expression. Okay, so these are the facts that you need to remember. A variable itself is an expression, right? And also, like if you put a value like this, like let's say 67, 67. All right. So I don't know how it came, but I didn't, um, on purpose write it 67. All right. So my daughter use it a lot. She's a 12-year old. So that value, see that it's actually execute the value itself, right? It's a value, it's an integer value. It's actually printed that value. So a value itself, like 67 here, an expression. Okay, so those are the facts. Okay, so statements, usually a part of a statement can be made of expressions, and variable name itself an expression, a value itself an expression. Okay, all right, any questions? Yes.
So the salary equals wage times hours times
Hmm?
weeks. That's not an assignment. You said it's an.
It's an assignment. Yeah, it's an
Okay.
assignment statement.
Okay,
Yep.
assignment
Yeah,
statement.
you can simply say assignment. Yes, that's
Okay,
fine
okay.
as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, so the equal sign assigns two expressions, a
Yeah.
new expression to
Yeah. So basically, that whole thing on the left, right hand side is an expression, right? So basically, Python evaluates it and then assign the resulting value to salary.
So we would say assignment expression.
No,
No.
you cannot say assignment expression.
Okay.
You say assignment statement. Okay. All right. Okay. Don't get mixed up. Okay.
All right.
All right. Because we say this whole thing is a statement, right?
Yes. All things.
More specifically, assignment statement. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's a statement, but more particularly or more specifically, is the assignment statement. All right. But this part is the expression.
Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. And then remember this left hand and right hand thing is really important to identify difference. So this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. Okay. Yes.
I just, so when you reassigned the you reassigned hours, you
Yeah.
changed it to 35 hours. Do you have to put restate the assignment?
Yes, that's a good question. Yes, yes, that's a good question. So let's try this one now, right? So I'm gonna reset the value, right, to this. Okay. All right. So now let's recalculate, right? So right. So this one, right? Okay. So if I print now salary, right? So I will get sorry, this one, this, right? Right. So if I let me now I'm kind of trying to prove, right? So this is 35, right? If I now print the salary, I still get that, right? Why? Because I didn't run the statement with the new value, right? So it was still the old value that I calculated prior, right? So see that I changed the hours, right? But I didn't rerun this, so my salary is still the old salary. So I need to rerun the salary calculation with the new value for hours to make it reflect on the new salary. Okay, so it's really important. It's a really good observation. Okay, so now I print and then I'll get the new value. Okay, all right. Any other questions? All right, so let's continue. One thing I want to show you guys. Okay, yeah, I think it's a good place. I think Thomas pointed out the type, right? This quotation thing, right? So let's check on that. So remember we like last week, right? We printed, right? Hello world, right? something like this, right? And we had to put quotations, right, to print text, and that's in Python. That's how you have to do. Okay, so if it is text, then you have to use quotation. It can be single quotation, it can be double quotation, it can be even triple double or triple single quotation, but you cannot mix types. Like you cannot start with the double quotation, end with the single quotation. No, it has to be matched, right? So this is that, right? So and then you can also use like single quotation like this. Oops, like this, and it's also works. You can also use either triple double or triple single, but it's there's a purpose, specific purpose for using triple quotation, and we will learn it today later in the class. Okay, that also works. Okay, so this is text type. Okay, so I'm gonna basically, so to the way we can figure out the type in Python is actually there's a built-in Python function called type function. So let's try that one now. Okay, so we're gonna basically type, so print, we are printing first, we are printing the type of, let's say, hello world. Okay, so I'm going to pick this one, so either one would work. Oops, I'm not sure whether it worked or not. Let's see. Yeah, good. Okay, so I'm printing the type of hello world. So what I'm getting is this. So this is how Python actually prints it. So the class here means the type. Okay, so it's the synonym. So class is actually type, it's the synonym, and str here is actually the string. So it's saying that it's string type. So that's the Python, that's the name Python use for string or text type, str. Okay, so this basically saying that the thing that I put over here, this hello world, is text type, it's string type, str. Okay, so that's text. So let's take another value. So I'm going to put 20 here. What will I get? Integer, right? So I'll get like int, like this. All right. So this is really useful. The type function is built in for you. So once you load Python, it's available to you. It's a really useful function to check the types of your variable or values even. Okay. Any question? Um, what's the issue?
So when I print the type, I'm not getting the.
Oh, the reason is you didn't close the bracket over there at the first. So
Which
it's, see that this line right here. Oops. Oh, it's touch, right?
one? Yeah, sorry.
All right. So see that line, this one, right? So you didn't close the bracket in the same line. So
this one?
yeah. So what I think you can do, we can try backspace. Yeah, there you go. All right. So you can now type in a single line, the way I have written, right? I didn't go to next line, right? So continue typing the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because this, we are at the prompt, right? We are not in a text coding yet, right? So in prompt, you better write everything in a single line, right? Yeah. I mean, you can run multi-line code. It's complicated and it's an inconvenience to run multi-line code at the prompt. So we're gonna actually use like Colab or somewhere else to do that. Okay. Yeah, in fact, you can even full length large program at the prompt, but it's kind of inconvenience. We have better text editors to do that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's continue. All right. So we talk about input and output already in in the kind of hardware sense, right? But how do we do it in this section? We're going to explore how can we do it in code in Python. Okay, so so first thing is output. Okay, so what do we use uh, in Python for outputting? Okay, so what's the device? Output device? Yes, screen. Device is the screen. Okay, so you all in this class going to use the screen to see the output in code. Okay, but there are more sophisticated output device in reality as well, right? But we are going to deal with the screen. What's going to be our input device then in this class? The keyboard, right? Okay, all right. So okay, now next question. In Python, what did we use to output? Print, right? The print command, right? So, and it's the function that we actually did use already, right? So, to print something to the output, okay? So, which is the screen, okay? All right. So, like if we, sorry, we can copy paste. No, I think we can try something else. All right. So I want you guys to yeah, I think okay, so let's learn few tricks in printing. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go over here. I can actually I'm gonna go over here and then print few things. Okay, all right. I'm gonna print. So let's say x equals um, 20 and y equals 50. All right. So I want to print them together. So print. What should I write over here? I want to, yes.
Like you want to just print X and then Y.
Yeah, together, yes.
You do X, comma, Y.
It's comma y, right? So x comma y. It's kind of same way that we would use in English, right? So if we have more things to write down, we use a comma, right? The same manner here. Okay. All right. So look what happened, right? See how the output came? Do we see the comma there? No. In the output, this is the output, right? This is the output. This is the command we ran, right? This is the line we ran. This is the output. We don't see the comma there, right? So they use space to separate the values that we print. Okay. See that space in between 20 and 50, right? Right. So they use space. All right, guys. So the video we're gonna watch today is about repetition. Okay, and then we need repetition well to improve, right? So in Python, right? So I mean anything, right, to improve, right? So that's why I say experience matter, right? So for example, driving, right? So you and you as you drive more and more and you become more experienced driver, right? So that's actually a repetition in practice. So all right, so So we're gonna watch this video. Basically, it's gonna first show you how repetition work. Okay, and then I am also giving you guys. Let me take the preview. It's already published. How you can find opportunities to repeat in coding. Okay, so there's a set of suggestions from me. Okay, all right, and then you guys should seek more opportunity to code. Okay, and then that's the last one. Okay, I highly recommend checking out one of these resource to pick problems. So they list down problem from really easy to intermediate to expert level. So you can pick the beginner ones and then go along, right? And before that, there are some suggestions from me actually. So the reason is, in this class we will solve every week we solve a problem, right? So we solve two problems. So um, that means we have, let's say, 18 weeks, so 36 problem there, right? And we will probably have 30 problems in Python programming, right? So one we're going to solve today, starting today, and we have assignment and Scilabs and things. So probably no more than 70 problems in 4.5 months. So that's not enough. That's my point. So try to find other problems on your own. Okay. So and then this basically shows you what happened when you repeat. Okay. And this one in particular, this is a physical thing example, but in our case, well, we are dealing with coding, so it's actually interacting between parts of our own brain, like let's say the memory and then the place where the cognition takes place, like translation and things like that, right? But still, it's like, like a neuron goes to a muscle, do something, let's say playing tennis, right? The same thing they are now in coding. You're not using any muscle or anything. It's actually happened within the memory, like within the brain itself. Still, everything here they're saying that valid in our case as well. So let's watch this video. Okay.
Mastering any physical skill, be it performing a pirouette, playing an instrument, or throwing a baseball, takes practice. Practice is the repetition of an action with the goal of improvement, and it helps us perform with more ease, speed, and confidence. So what does practice do in our brains to make us better at things? Our brains have two kinds of neural tissue, gray matter and white matter. The gray matter processes information in the brain, directing signals and sensory stimuli to nerve cells, while white matter is mostly made up of fatty tissue and nerve fibers. In order for our bodies to move, information needs to travel from the brain's gray matter down the spinal cord through a chain of nerve fibers called axons to our muscles. So how does practice or repetition affect the inner workings of our brains? The axons that exist in the white matter are wrapped with a fatty substance called myelin, and it's this myelin covering or sheath that seems to change with practice. Myelin is similar to insulation on electrical cables. It prevents energy loss from electrical signals that the brain uses, moving them more efficiently along neural pathways. Some recent studies in mice suggest that the repetition of a physical motion increases the layers of myelin sheath that insulates the axons. And the more layers, the greater the insulation around the axon chains, forming a sort of superhighway for information connecting your brain to your muscles. So while many athletes and performers attribute their successes to muscle memory, muscles themselves don't really have memory. Rather, it may be the myelination of neural pathways that give these athletes and performers their edge with faster and more efficient neural pathways. There are many theories that attempt to quantify the number of hours, days, and even years of practice that it takes to master a skill. While we don't yet have a magic number, we do know that mastery isn't simply about the amount of hours of practice. It's also the quality and effectiveness of that practice. Effective practice is consistent, intensely focused, and targets content or weaknesses that lie at the edge of one's current abilities. So if effective practice is the key, how can we get the most out of our practice time? Try these tips. Focus on the task at hand. Minimize potential distractions by turning off the computer or TV and putting your cell phone on airplane mode. In one study, researchers observed 260 students studying. On average, those students were able to stay on task for only 6 minutes at a time. Laptops, smartphones, and particularly Facebook were the root of most distractions. Start out slowly or in slow motion. Coordination is built with repetitions, whether correct or incorrect. If you gradually increase the speed of the quality repetitions, you have a better chance of doing them correctly. Next, frequent repetitions with allotted breaks are common practice habits of elite performers. Studies have shown that many top athletes, musicians, and dancers spend 50 to 60 hours per week on activities related to their craft. Many divide their time used for effective practice into multiple daily practice sessions of limited duration. And finally, practice in your brain in vivid detail. It's a bit surprising, but a number of studies suggest that once a physical motion has been established, it can be reinforced just by imagining it. In one study, 144 basketball players were divided into two groups. Group A physically practiced one-handed free throws, while Group B only mentally practiced them. When they were tested at the end of the 2-week experiment, the intermediate and experienced players in both groups had improved by nearly the same amount. As scientists get closer to unraveling the secrets of our brains, our understanding of effective practice will only improve. In the meantime, effective practice is the best way we have of pushing our individual limits, achieving new heights, and maximizing our potential.
All right, guys. So some tips and then advice on that. All right. So let's continue. Over here. All right. Okay. So let's explore. So we were on print, right? So over here, right? Okay. So my question is, how can we? So now I want to put 20. I want to output 20,50. So how do I do it?
You gotta put the comma
In there.
well, you would print x comma quotation comma.
You can do so. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Let's try that. I think you can do this one, right? So like put another and then quotation comma, right? Yeah, that works. All right. All right. But now it's actually put a space. You still put a space, right? See that? So it's space over here, right? So I cannot replace. So I want to replace the space with comma. So how can I do it? Now we're gonna get into input later. All right. So let's. So I want you guys to Google this. Okay. So let's do it together, guys. Okay. So we're gonna. I'm gonna quickly. We can. Yeah. So let's go. Google. All right. I'm gonna go back. Google this Python built-ins. Okay. Python built-ins. So the reason is because Python is a built-in. Print is a built-in function. So click on the second one, this one, built-in functions. All right, so I'm going to click on that. All right, so see that print over here? So it's a built-in function. Okay, so that's why we were able to use print from the get-go, right? So click on that. I want all you guys to get there, because documentation from Python's own people is the best resource for you guys. So it's a kind of clunky like this, but it's the most reliable source because it's from the people that give us Python, right? So that's the best resource for help and documentation. Okay. So and you can see that. So let me explain this. Okay. So this means, so this is the object that we print. All right. So like 20 there, right? 20 and 50 there, right? So this is the object, and this star means basically you can print any unlimited amount of objects in a comma separated single print like this. So I have 2 here, right? So I have 2 here, right? But if you have 10, you can put entire 10 comma separated. There's no limit to that. So that the star indicates that. Okay. So this, that star indicates that, this star. Okay. And see that sep, that's the separator, and the default value is what? Space, right? See that space, right? See this right here, see right here, right? So this is, says this is a single space, so that's by default, that's what it means. Sep equals by default sep, like space. So that means when you print comma separated like this, you will get them in the output separated by a space. Okay. So now you can tell how we can change it to comma.
We make a new assignment of sep equals.
Yes. All right. So we do this. All right. So we, instead of doing this, right, so we put one more. So sep equal. So now what? Yeah, just comma. Okay. That's it. See that? Right. So if you want comma and space both, you put both together, right? So right here one space, and you will get 20 comma 50. Okay. All right. Any question? I want all you to try this one. Sometimes we need this kind of changes to get some interesting patterns and things, to print some interesting patterns and things, right? All right.
So for that one, you put it in the parentheses of the print. But I mean, if you were, can you establish that in your assignments? Like, could you put x equals 20, y equals 10?
No, you, in your assignment, no, you cannot do that. Yeah, so you have to do it here inside print. Yeah. Okay. All right. So but by default, that's why we didn't have to do it, because the by default is space, right? And then this is how you change it. Any symbol you want. Okay. So you can even, right? So you can even put, like blah blah over here, right? Right. So you get blah inside, right? So you can put anything like that. Yeah. Right. So so that's for the separator, right? So, and you can also see, right, in here, right, sorry, in here the n character, right, n character now. So this is means the backslash n means it's new line character n, and that's the reason why we basically had like once everything, when we print few lines together, everything went to like next line. Okay. So I'm gonna go it over here and then do it in Colab, guys. Okay. So let's take over here, right? So I'm gonna say let's do let's say maybe I can borrow it from my previous class. Not that. Yeah. So it's basically, yeah, xy. So I'm gonna use that and do it over here. Okay. What was that actually sound?
Yeah, what is that noise?
All right. So right? Something like this. Now I'm going to basically print print let's say x and then print y. Okay, so all right, so we will get one after the other, right? Okay, so but what I want is basically printing them together, right? So I'm gonna basically print. Yes, that's. I think it's the alarm. Okay, so let's. I think probably the alarm is on. Say I want to print them together 30 and 40. Okay, so here's what I would do. Okay, so I'm gonna print. Maybe I can copy this whole and go to the next block. All right, I will do this. Okay, so and then here I'm going to change the n character to let's say something else um, like this. Okay, all right, and then print y. See what happened. Okay, see that. So they are now in a single line, not in a new line. So basically what happened was the default n character is new line character. So which means the next line goes into a brand new line. So that's what that means. So instead of that, so we're going to change it to we're going to change it to over here. So not there, sorry. This character, right? So we got that one. Okay, so so that's actually a new line, and if you don't print anything, that also basically creates a new line. Okay, so okay. All right, so I think we can go to the next section. Okay, so and then this is basically the way how you can output variables and then values together. So maybe we can cannot actually start. I think maybe we can now copy. It doesn't allow us to copy, but so basically you can use you can see that over here variable name also there, right? You can print that as well, right? So it's quickly you can try it over here. So so to print they are together, right? So you can basically put that values, like for example wage comma, sorry, I think we have to put like this and then come over here, wage is, and then you can put wage, right? And then and if you print it, then you can print them together like this as well. Okay, so and then you also, if you want, you can change the separator as well accordingly. Okay, any question? So that means, like, you know, you can use to print, you can use print to print values and variables both. Okay, all right. So this is just a value, just we call it the string, literal string value, right? And this is a variable or object. Okay, so you can print both. Yes.
Can you just scroll down really quick?
Yep.
Just look at the print, the change n.
Yes, one. Okay. So earlier we when we print normally we get to a new line, right, and print and we change to a different character. Okay. All right. All right, so this is what we did just now, keeping output in the same line. So we use the end character, end, and then we replace the new line with whatever the character we want. Okay. And if you want to change that again back to and then you can basically use the new line character again. Okay, and this line, the backslash symbol, and then put in that we call it actually it doesn't print n, right? It also doesn't print a backslash n, right? So we call that process to print these special symbols called escaping. Okay, so and then if it is in a sequence, we call it escape sequence. Okay, so basically we are escaping the new line character here. So we write it like this. So it's not backslash n we print, right? Yeah, we are printing a new line. Okay, and then for tab also we can use backslash t to write the backslash itself. We can use backslash, so double, yeah, right. Okay, all right, so I think we are good. So we're gonna start our Thursday lesson with this one, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go into this one. So let's use the let's open the today's group problem. Okay, so all right, all right, guys, I just published it. Okay, so before we get into that, so this we remember we on the first day we actually ran a turtle program, right? So the fish curve, right? So now we are basically, you guys gonna get into write your own turtle code starting today. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the simple triangle. Okay, so what I first wanted to show you guys is this. Okay, so let me first go over a little bit because this is our first day doing this, right? So really important, this Python sandbox, I mean, it's not a perfect tool. So it's good for um, playing with turtles for us, but using Python for general programming, it's not that a reliable tool, the Python sandbox. So do not use for general coding in the class, like in the assignments and stuff, right? So we already learned few places that we can code, right? So we can use that. And that's one. Okay, and remember we did also in first week we did the stepwise refinement of an algorithm, right? So recall those. Okay, and also in week 2, no 3, right, we did the real world abstraction. Remember, we for the make break one, right, the algorithm we wrote, and then we also drawn the black box diagram, the inputs and the box and the output, right? So recall that as well. Okay, because those are all, you know, but given there for us to use it in here. Okay, so and with that in mind, what you need to do is first this. So you guys, for the few weeks I'm going to give you guys template code. Okay, so and then you're going to basically copy paste that into and replace the original code that from turtle. So copy this, okay, and click this here. So this is going to take you to this one. So replace all of this code with that. Okay, all right. So so today's problem, so I'm gonna give you guys few ways that you can so few commands that you have to use. Okay, so I'm going to maybe over here I'm going to change this name. Let's say our problem is to draw a square. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm gonna over here gonna go over here and then change this. I'm gonna all right. So what do we do, right? So imagine your pen is your turtle. Okay, and then turtle is usually sitting at 0 0. Okay, that's the default location, 0 and 0. Okay, so turtle is looking at east. So these are all important facts, guys. Okay, and then at 0 0 by default. Okay, and also it's actually tail down, so it's ready to draw. All right, so to draw a square, what is the step 1? Let's say it's 100 pixel long square. Move forward, right? So draw it by hand, right? First you try to do that. Okay, so move forward by 100 degrees, right? So 100. Okay, now the turtle is still looking at east, right? But at here, so what do we do now to draw a square? Yes, yeah, turn left by 90 degrees, right? So we turn left, right? We turn left by 90 degrees. So now it's looking at north. Okay, all right, what do we do now? Yeah, again we are following, right? So move forward by 100. So you're gonna basically go this way, all right? And now it's looking this way and move forward hundreds. What do we do now? Yeah, turn left by 90, right? 90 degrees. What do we know now? Repeating, right? So move forward by another 100, right? All right, and then turtle is looking west now, right? And what do we do now?
Did we turn?
Turn left again. Sorry, right here, and then this angle is going to be 90, right? And what do we do now? Move forward by another 100. So this is 100 and this is 100. These are all 90 degrees. So that's now we completed drawing the square, right? So always, so when we do this turtle diagrams, try to draw that diagram that I am asking you guys to draw, but first by hand. Okay, so that's gonna give you guys a good mental imagining that your pen is the turtle, and then that's gonna give you guys a good mental picture of what to do, right? Then we figure out, okay, so we know, okay, this is what need to happen. So then you can bring it down to, like, it broke it down to steps. Step 1, move forward by 100. Step 2, turn left by 90. Step 3, move forward likewise, right? So you should write it down. Okay, so I'm going to quickly get a text box over here and type it down. Okay, so all right, so step 1, forward by 100. Okay, 2, right, and left by 90, right? And 3, help me guys,
Forward.
by 100 again, right? Right, and then step, oops, 4, left by 490, right? And then next one, step 5, forward again by 100, right? and then this we repeat these two steps one more time, right? So this is going to be 6 and this is going to be 7. That's it, right? This is it. So this is the algorithm. So basically you can think of this as your code in English. So what you're going to do is now basically you have the algorithm, you basically translate this from English to Python. It's more instead of trying to solve the problem directly in Python, this is a more easier way to get the solution, because now once you know the syntax, just need to translate each line at a time and then into Python from English. Okay, so that's it. That's what we have to do. So try to follow this way always. So now what we can also do is we can also write the black box diagram. Okay, what's a good name for this problem? Draw square, right? That's so. Let's do that, right? So I'm gonna basically let's say we're gonna take a box. All right. Oops, this one. Sorry. All right. The name inside going to be right. Draw square, right? All right. What's the input? Anyone?
What is the input?
Yeah.
Instructions for drawing square. How big the square should be? How long each line?
Yeah, the length is the input. Okay, so the input is going to be length. Okay, length, and what's the output? The square, right? The square, and you can say with 100. Okay, so all right. Okay, so that's the black box. So try to do all of these before you write a single line of code, and I believe I'm going to tell you you will succeed in encoding. Okay, all right. So so let's start that now. With this in mind, I'm going to quickly go over here and then write code for drawing the square. Okay, so I'm going to name this to draw square. Okay, but your problem is drawing the triangle. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you what are the turtle command that you need to use. Okay, draw square. All right, and basically it draws the square. All right, so these are standard code. So this line basically it's saying that this line saying you are importing turtle module. Okay, so that means basically that's the second statement that we actually learned today. So this is the import statement. Okay, so you already learned the first one. What is the name? Assignment statement. This is the second type, import statement. So we are importing turtle module. All right, and then over here, so we are writing this function. Okay, and then over here, this is how you create a turtle to draw. You give it a name. So I name it a turtle. Okay, and this is how we actually create a turtle. Okay, in Python turtle code. So I usually give this one at the first beginning so that you guys are until you guys get familiar. Okay, and here I am changing the speed of this turtle. Okay, so you see the notation, the dot notation. So basically I am accessing turtle's attributes. So this turtle's attribute, which one is speed. Okay, all right, so let's now implement the algorithm. So we have this algorithm forward by 100, so we can actually implement that now. Okay, so a turtle, the function for move forward is forward, and it takes the input the length. Okay, all right, so next one is turning left. Then what should be the command? left, right, by 90 degrees. So it takes the input 90. Okay, all right. Now we pretty much what we need to do is repeat these two 4 times, right? So let's do that. And then this is the algorithm, right? See that we are repeating those 2 lines again and again. So we're gonna basically, I'm gonna copy paste these 2 lines. I think 4 more times. All right, I don't need the last one actually. Yeah, that's it. All right, so this is my solution, and I'm gonna call this function. So like I have given to you over here, so I'm gonna replace this. All right, and oops, I think that's line 15. This one, okay, so I'm gonna remove this. I think this something happened with copy pasting. So all right, so line 12, there's a bad input. Oh, make sure to align your code, see that, to this quotation right here. There should be a line. So I'm gonna, yeah, that was mistake actually. All right, so close. Okay, line 12 still problem. Okay, let me try line 2. Okay. Oh, I don't know what it is actually. Let me delete that line. So let's try running. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna I did this so that you because you didn't know how to use forward and things, so to show you guys, right? So now the question is how to draw a equilateral triangle. Okay, so let's pair up and do this one. Okay, all right.